Hi there and welcome to another episode of Money Moves with Debt Rescue, the channel where we help you move in the right financial direction in your personal wealth. This week we're going to talk about load shedding and how we can survive it. As we know, we have in the past couple of weeks seen some of the worst cases of load shedding that the country has seen since 2017. And we know that this tends to cause quite a bit of chaos both in our personal and business lives, and that we definitely need to look at some ways in which we can survive it psychologically, but also financially, and how best to make the best of this very difficult situation right now. So our first tip that we ask to look at is covering your geyser. As we know, it's winter also, so generally your geyser can take up to 40% of your total electricity bill at the best of times. Now we're talking winter, and it's using up even more possibly. So your geyser needs to constantly go on, keep the water warm as it cools down. So a very good thing here to look at is putting a blanket, a proper geyser blanket, onto your geyser. You can buy these at most hardware stores, and making sure that if your geyser is covered up, obviously the heat is going to be retained for much longer, meaning that your geyser is going to be reheating less frequently. Our second tip is looking at switching to gas wherever you can. A lot of equipment these days is gas compatible. We think of gas stoves in our kitchen, gas heaters in winter. They're quite energy efficient. Gas is still at a fair price, and definitely during the load shedding period, very useful and handy to have on hand. If, for example, you have a little gas camping stove in your kitchen, to make sure you can still make dinner and not be left stranded having to look towards takeouts for dinner. Our third tip is looking at how you use your mobile data during load shedding. For example, if you have your house connected to fiber and you fall over to your cell phone's mobile data, this could significantly push up your data costs that you normally use per month. So it's very important that we use our data sparingly when we're using on mobile data. Rather use the time to maybe take the dog for a walk, play outside with the kids if it's not too cold, or pick up a book and read a book during the time that we're waiting for the electricity to come back. Our fourth tip is using an app to plan ahead. Obviously, it helps a lot if we know exactly when the load shedding is going to kick in, so that we can plan ahead whether we cook or go have a shower or plan whatever event or activities we have. There's quite a few of them available in the different app stores for the different phone providers. Download them, they're generally quite accurate, and at least you can plan your life accordingly. Our fifth tip is plan so that you don't have to get takeouts. Obviously, some of the load shedding schedules tend to happen during dinner time or dinner preparation time. So if you use your app from tip 4, you can plan a little bit better to try and prepare the meal ahead of time, maybe the night before if you don't have load shedding, or if you've looked at our switching to gas tip, that you maybe have your gas devices handy so that you can cook your dinners during that time and avoid unnecessary expenditure on items like takeout foods. As we know, load shedding might still be with us for quite some time, so the next tip relates to lighting. There are quite a variety of different lighting options out there, from little portable lamps that you can use, or energy efficient or even solar charged ones, whereby you can still at least have your lighting during the load shedding times. Some of them are smart enough that if they're plugged in and the power goes out, they switch themselves on. So definitely do shop around and plan for the future here of when we do have load shedding and you need some light. Our next tip involves preserving your perishable foods. Generally, if the load shedding is on the shorter time periods of 2 to 3 hours and we keep the fridge door closed, most of the items will still be fine. However, in preparation of possible longer duration load shedding stages, it's worth looking into maybe filling a few plastic 2-liter containers with water and freezing them up. And if the load shedding does last beyond the normal expected periods, that you can take them out and put them in your fridge just to keep your items cooler for a little bit longer. Our 8th tip is charge your tech while driving. Most of us have USB charging devices plugged into our vehicles, and this is a very good time if you're driving to and from work to plug in your device and make sure it's charging before the time if you're on your way home or to work, to make sure that you at least have some battery life. Obviously, do the same with, for example, your power banks. Make sure that your power banks are connected so that they can charge in the hours while we do have electricity, to make sure that you can keep yourself connected in the time when there is load shedding. Tip number 9 is investing in a UPS. As we know, it seems that load shedding is still going to be with us for quite some time, and this is obviously an investment item, so it would be worth looking around. There's quite a variety of different items out there where you could have a backup solution in the form of an uninterrupted power supply item, where at least you could maybe keep lights on, possibly charge one of your tech devices, and depending on the size, possibly even keeping your television on to keep the kids entertained. But again, this is an investment item, so make sure you do your homework, do some research and see what items are available. Load shedding in Braai time is our final tip. If you know that your load shedding is going to be in dinner time and the weather is looking quite nice, it might be a good idea to plan your dinner around a braai where you can be outside with the family, spend some quality time, and most likely time will fly by whilst you're having your braai, and maybe play some board games and have some fun with the family while we wait out the time. We hope you've found some use in our 10 tips for surviving load shedding. If you can think of some more that we haven't mentioned, please put them in the comment box below so that we can include them in the future when we do more articles on similar topics. Thank you for joining us. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and please do leave us comments on anything you would like us to cover in Money Moves with Debt Rescue.